number 9, and f of 7. Okay, that 7 is the what? It's the x. When you have a number in the parentheses, that is your x. So I have 2 equations up here. Which one am I going to use? The first one or the second? First one, because this says f of 7, and the first one is f of x. So f of 7 equals. So what am I going to write next? Yep. Wherever you see an x, you're going to put a 7 there in parentheses. So negative 5. And you can type that into your calculator. This is the first year that I have primarily used the Desmos calculator. You all used it in middle school, right?
Not this one.
No, we used the scientific.
The scientific one, so it didn't have the graphing stuff. But
yeah.
But everything, I mean, it's still got the same features. It's just got extra.
This is the back. Can't be short for calculator.
And so what do you get for f of 7? No, you don't need to put the f of, just put the after an equal sign. So when you're just trying to get the math part, just put whatever comes after the equal sign.
Oh, negative 49.
Negative 49 is correct. Good. All right, number 10 says g of negative 3. So negative 3 is my x. Am I going to use the first or the second equation? Second. Now the second one has 2 different x's. You put the negative 3 in both. Here's a huge thing that half of you'll ignore me and you won't do it. When you put that negative 3 in, it has to be in parentheses. Right now, in Desmos calculator.
How do you square?
I'll show you. It's real easy. There's a shortcut. I want you real quick to type those 2 things in your Desmos calculator. To do the exponent, it is shift, and then it's 6. It's the little caret. Think of that as like an up arrow. It makes your exponent go up there. Type in those 2 things exactly as I have them. Do you get the same answer? Use one with parentheses, one without.
No.
You do not get the same answer because the calculator reads this first one, as negative 1 times 3 squared. But we know we're doing negative 3 squared. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So when you are squaring a number, put that in parentheses, or you'll get the wrong answer. So g of negative 3 equals, so I've got x squared. I have to put the negative 3 in parentheses. The squared stays outside. I'm only plugging in a negative 3, so only the negative 3 gets put in parentheses. Plus 9, and then parentheses negative 3, minus 1.
Wait, plus 1 or minus 1?
It's minus 1. Yeah.
I thought you said plus 1.
I may have said plus 1, but it's really minus 1. And we do get, somebody said negative 19. Okay. I want you to do numbers 11 and 12, and I'm going to randomly pick a person. So do those, check with someone around you in case you get called on. All right, Isabella, number 11. 6. Does anybody disagree? Does anybody need me to explain that or show that further? I don't care
I
to.
will.
Huh?
I will.
Okay, tell us what you did. What'd you type in the calculator?
Negative 5 parentheses, negative 4 parentheses, negative. Oh wait, minus. Sorry. Minus 14.
Yep. So be careful. Your parentheses only go around the number you're plugging in, not the whole thing, because that's going to cause your answer to be way off. All right, number 12. Cole, did you get number 12?
Yep.
What did you get?
I got negative 19.
You got negative 19. That's weird. That was the same answer as 10.
That's true.
I disagree.
You disagree?
No.
No? You agree? Does anybody get something different?
Well, it's the same answer.
It just is. Now, if you did not get this answer, this is the correct answer. If you did not get that, I'm thinking maybe when you didn't put the negative 6 in parentheses, or maybe you did this. A lot of people remember the parentheses, but they put the whole thing in parentheses. That defeats the purpose of the parentheses. Your squared has to be outside. So that is a mistake some of you will make every single time. Okay, I'm gonna tell you every single time because it's easy to mess up. All right, let's go to the back. So number 13 says if f of x equals negative 44, find x. If I'm asking you to find x, did I give you x? No. Is negative 44 your x? No. So do I need to plug negative 44 in right here for that x? No. If that number is after the equal sign, it's not your x. We have to figure out what x would be. We have to figure, okay, what number would I plug in for x to get negative 44? And the way we do that, I know that f of x is negative 5x minus 14. So I'm going to change this to negative 5x minus 14 equals negative 44. So if it says that the function equals a number, that number is kind of like your y value. When we get to graphs and tables, it's your y value. So we have to set the function equal to that and solve. Do you all know how to solve this? Two-step equation? Who was your Algebra 1 teacher?
Mr. Gainer. She taught us.
You did this in 8th grade too.
I don't remember.
All right. The line. Yes, the line makes you know how to do
I
it.
remember the line. I just don't remember.
All right, so the number that's by itself, we're going to add that to both sides. So your negative 14 and your positive 14 cancel out. Coming back to you.
Yes. Okay.
If you had Miss Bowling and you say you don't know how to solve a two-step equation, she'll come over here and probably wring your neck. So over here we have to add negative 44 plus 14. What is that? Negative 30. And then what's my next step? Divide. Divide both sides by negative 5. And I get x equals 6. Now go back to your calculator and do negative 5 parentheses 6 minus 14 and see if you get negative 44.
What did you say you did?
Go back, your function, put negative 5, and then in parentheses put your x, 6 that we just got, minus 14, and see if you do get negative 44. I want you to try the next problem. It's the exact same setup as number 13.
Wait, are we only doing 14?
Alright, I'm going to go over number 14. So this says f of x equals negative 9. So I'm going to take my function and set it equal to negative 9. I'm not put a negative 9 in for x. So I'm going to write negative 5x minus 14 equals negative 9. You really have to pay attention to how the question is written. Where is that number? Is it after the equal sign or is it in parentheses? And so then to solve this equation, if you do not know how to solve a two-step equation, that's something you've got to work on. I'm not teaching that in here. We'll do it some. But you might need to do some extra practice on your own. You got to know how to do this in Algebra 2. We add 14. Negative 5x equals 5. And then we divide. And you should have got x equals negative 1. Alright, equations are probably the most complicated out of all of these. If I give you a table, that's the easiest. Like, if you see a table, you're like, woo, this is a easy question. So, B of 4. Where's the 4 at? Well, in my question, where's the 4 located? It's in the parentheses. So that means it's your x. So look down here, find an x value of 4. Right there it is. What's the y value? 3. So your answer is 3. I told you. Yep. Number 16. It says b of x equals negative 5. Find x. Is your negative 5 in parentheses? No. So is negative 5 your x value? No. It's your y value. So look on the right-hand column to find negative 5. There it is. X equals 0.
Wait, so which one did we try to find last time? Try to find the y value?
Yeah, 13 and 14?
No.
Oh.
15.
15 is the x value. If it's in parentheses, it's your x. If it's after the parentheses, it's your y. So like 13 and 14, if you were to graph, if you were to type in on Desmos y equals negative 5x minus 14, you are finding the point that has a y value of negative 44. That's what you were doing. It has an x value of 6. All right. Now, when you have a graph, you have individual points. Number 17 says find g of 3. 3 is your x value. So, right here is where x is 3. What point everything right here has an x value of 3. Is there a point along that line that has an x value of 3? Yep. So then you're going to go over what's the y value there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the point 3, 5. So it has an x value of 3. It has a y value of 5. So your answer is 5. G of 3 equals 5. Yep. G of 3 equals 5. So you found G of 3. We found the point on this graph that had an x value of 3, and you're telling what the y value is. Number 18 says if g of x equals negative 4, what's x? All right, negative 4. Is that your x value? If I say what is x, I'm not giving you the x. So negative 4 is your
Why?
y. If it comes after the equal sign, it's your y. So we're going to find where y is negative 4. So every point on that line has a y value of negative 4. Is there a point in that highlighted area? Yep. Go up and find the x value there. What is that x value? 1. This is the point 1, negative 4. That's the point that has a y value of negative 4. All right, number 19. It's another graph, except it's not just individual points. Number 19 says find h of 2. 2 is your x value. So we're going to find a point that has an x value of 2. Looks to be that point right there. So I went to the x value of 2, went to my graph. What's the y value at this point? 1. So that is the point 2, 1. Now, if I say find h of 2, all you have to do is write 1. You don't have to write the whole coordinate. Like 1 is fine. Is the fine answer. When we do practice, that's how it's going to be on there.
So what about if you're like actually?
Just 1. All right, 20. If h of x equals negative 1, is negative 1 your x or your y? Your y. So you're going to go on the y-axis. We're negative 1. That's right here. Look, there's 2 of them. You can have 2. So there's actually 2 points that have a y value of negative 1. What are they? Negative 2 and negative 4. So the big thing you've got to remember, if it's in the parentheses, it is your, if it's in parentheses, it's x. If it's after the equal sign, it's y. All right. Do what?